So I'm gonna just toggle over to Edpuzzle. So basically, to get started, I'll log out here so that you can just see. It's really easy to sign up if you haven't already done it. You just go to edpuzzle.com, and if you've already signed up, you click login. If you haven't, you click sign up, and you can do it with your Google account. So it will just, like most of the other platforms, it'll just prompt you, choose your Google email address. It will ask you if you're a teacher, like what grade you teach, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna log in because I have an account. And I'm logging in as a teacher. As you see, it already prompts me to log in. Now I can add my Google Classroom to this so that I can assign Edpuzzle assignments through Google Classroom.
Okay.
And it's really easy.
Will it post on your feed?
It will post as an assignment.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, Adrian, sorry, really quick, did I miss this? Did you log into Edpuzzle through your Clever?
You can log into Edpuzzle through Clever, but I just did it through the website.
But you're using your Google login.
Yeah, but okay. I'm using my my Everett email, but you could log into Edpuzzle using your Clever if you wanted to. Thank you for bringing that up. The kids, on the other hand, if they're accessing Edpuzzle assignments through Google Classroom or Canvas, once they click on the assignment, it just takes them to Edpuzzle, so they don't have to like open it separately.
You're posting the Edpuzzle to Canvas. The kids click on it, and that's all they have to do.
So, well, so I'm going to post directly to Google Classroom because Edpuzzle integrates with Google Classroom. But you can just copy the link to the assignment and then add it as a separate assignment in Canvas. And then when you click on the, like when the kids open the assignment on Canvas, they can click on the link and it will take them to Edpuzzle.
Thank you.
Sure. So to add a Google Classroom to Canvas, all I'm going to do is go up here to My Classes. And you'll see that you can either add a new class. So if you wanted to do this independent of Google Classroom, you could, or you can just go to Google Classroom. I'm just going to click Google Classroom. I'm going to select the class I want to add. I'm going to pick a grade level in a subject, and then I'm just going to click Import Classes. And now my sample class is here, okay? If I click on class members, I can see that my name appears as the teacher, and then my one student in my Google Classroom appears, okay? Now, the nice thing about Edpuzzle is that they already have lots and lots of content videos with questions already created. So if you go over to content, you'll see I'm on my home page. But if I click if I look at my home page, you'll see that I have like some trending videos, like videos that lots of people on Edpuzzle are using. But I can get way more specific than that. So if I go to curriculum and I click on that, I can click on the type of schooling that I teach. So if I'm an elementary school teacher, I'll click that. And it even further breaks down Edpuzzle videos into either subject or grade. I like to go to grade first because these videos are broken down by standard too. So what grade do you teach, Janelle?
5th grade.
So I could go to 5th grade. And then it further breaks it down into 5th grade science, 5th grade math, 5th grade social studies, 5th grade language arts. And these videos are associated with Common Core standards for that particular grade level. So I'll just click on science and you'll see it breaks it down even further into science. I could, search by a particular subject, or I could just browse by the ones that they give me. So now what I can do is I can just choose a video, okay? So I'm gonna choose the shortest one. I'm gonna pick copy of what is a fossil. So if I look here, I'm gonna see that I have this basic video. If there were questions already associated with the one that I've just chosen, they would show up as little, like, they look like teardrops here. But as you can see, this is just a basic video. There's no questions associated with it. However, if I scroll down, you can see that lots of other people have used this video, lots of other Edpuzzle users. And some people have modified it. So if you look at Cecilia Till, she has added 2 questions to this video. So you could choose Cecilia's, see what questions she has, and you could use that yourself, or you can add questions. So I'm just gonna choose Cecilia's because there's already some questions there. And then I can click the edit button. So I could either watch this and see, you know, what the video offers, what questions Cecilia has, and then I could just go ahead and assign it, or I can edit it and I can either delete or modify some of the questions that are on there. I can add additional questions if I wanted to. I'm gonna click edit so that you can see how to do that. So if you look here, I clicked edit and you'll see that she has 2 questions in here. They're both open-ended. So she asks here at this point in time, oops, wait a minute, what happened there? Let me refresh. So she asks around this point in time, what is a fossil? So the kids will have watched the video, and then once this little, you know, once they get to this point, it's gonna stop the video and it's gonna ask them the question, and then they have to answer.
Now, do they write down, do they write it down, or is it an oral?
No, they type it in.
Oh, okay.
So for open-ended questions, they type in their answers. I think there might also be, no, there's not a voice audio option on that. But they would type in their answers. There is a multiple choice option as well. So if you wanted your questions to be multiple choice, you could do that too. There's also an option to add in notes. So like voice notes. So for example, if you showed them a 5-minute video and after 3 minutes, you were like, oh, that part was a little confusing. I want to clarify it for them. You can go in, add a voice note where you clarify, and then the kids would have to could listen to it and then move on with the video.
Cool.
Then the other nice thing about this is that the kids cannot skip. So you can prevent skipping ahead. So, you know, you don't want them to like not watch the first half of the video and just skip to the question. It forces them to watch the video. And then they have the option to rewatch if they need to. So if I wanted to, well, I'll watch this now. It's only 2 minutes, so we can watch it together and see what it says. Oh. So some of these, it looks like this is not a good one. This particular video is no longer available.
Show the one you made for me.
Oh yeah. Well, I was going to show that one later because that was kind of like a custom one.
Oh, okay.
I'll show this one. And we won't watch the whole thing, but we can watch some of it. So this one is on.
I have a question that I missed.
Yeah,
These
go for it.
ones, not only is the video pre-selected, but the questions are also pre-selected.
Yeah, so there's many options. So I was saying that if you scroll down, they tell you how many versions of the video there are. And people have added, deleted their own questions. So you can go through several different versions and see which ones you like the best.
Okay, or use a video and make up your own questions.
Or just use a video and make up your own.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So for this one, I'm gonna hit edit. It looks like Patrick has, you know, quite a few multiple choice questions in here for the kids to answer. So I'm going to play this for you so that you can see what it looks like.
Here are examples of complementary angles. Now this one here is they are adjacent. You'll see that they are together. They're connected. And if you add 30 plus 60, you'll see that they add up to be 90 degrees.
So now the video automatically stops and this multiple choice question is going to appear for the students. Complementary angles add up to, and then they have to choose their answer. Okay. Now, this is in the editing portion, so this is not exactly what the students are going to see. I'll show you what they see after I assign the video. But over here, you can edit these questions. So say you said, I don't want this question. You could just click this little trash can to delete it. Okay. Say you said, oh, I want to edit this. I don't want it to be a multiple choice. You can just click the edit, the little, let me go back and just click on it one more time to show you. Whoops. So if I click on the question itself, it will appear. So I just click on this little pencil, and that will allow me to edit the question. So I could edit the text. As you can see, I can boldface the text. I can make it italicized. I can underline. I have the option to, you know, super subscript things. If I go over here, I can insert equation symbols. I can also add pictures. So if I had, you know, ELs or low-level readers that needed visual supports, I can add images as well. Okay. Up here at this drop-down menu, you can change what you want this to be. So if you decided, I don't want this to be a multiple choice question, I want there to be an open-ended question here, you just click open-ended and then you can modify it. Or if you decided you wanted it to be a note and not a question at all, you could change it that way. Okay. The other nice thing is that this will automatically correct your students' work for you if you're using multiple choice questions. So if you look over here, you know, we have text boxes for each of the answers to the questions. And then you have this little check mark or X, and you just select that to indicate which one is the correct answer and which ones are wrong. Okay, so you could have multiple correct answers if you wanted to. And then down here, you're not limited in choices. You could add another choice by just selecting this button as well. Okay, I'm going to just show you what the open-ended platform looks like. So same, you just write your question here, but there's going to be they're going to provide the students with a text box to write in, but there's nothing else that you need to do. For notes, as you can see, it's similar. You could have handwritten notes in here, or if you wanted to add like a diagram or something, you could always do that, you know, using the image tool. Or if you wanted to add a link, you could add a link if you wanted the kids to like check out a related source on another web page. Or if you click this button down here, you can add a voice note for the kids. Okay. And you would just click save to save those changes. So we're going to pretend that I watched this whole video and that I looked at all of the questions and I decided that I liked them all. And I'm going to come over here to where it says finish. And I'm just going to click finish. Then I'm going to assign it. So I'm going to click assign. I'm going to pick the class that I want to assign it to. So I'll choose my Google Classroom. I can choose a start date. So if I wanted to if I wanted to wait and assign this to be assigned on Monday, I could do that. And then I can also select a due date. Oops.
Can you go back just a step? I'm sorry, I just got
Yeah, of course.
message sent in.
To which part?
So assign, so you hit the assign button.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you select your class.
Okay, that's straightforward.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you can do the prevent skipping, just keep it on.
Yes.
Sweet. All
Prevent
right.
skipping is automatically on.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I would toggle this probably over to post on Google Classroom.
Okay.
And then I'm going to select the day that I want it to appear in Google Classroom. And for due date, the day that, the final day that it's due. And I'm going to select save. And then I just click assign. And there it is.
Awesome.
So then when the kids go into Google Classroom, and I'll show you what that looks like. So, whoops. Be a student here. So I'm signing into my student Google Classroom so that you can see what it looks like. Your password was changed 15 days ago. Oh. That's strange. Well, I didn't change it, so I don't really know. Huh. Let me just see what my password might be here. Maybe it's this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. All right, well, I guess I cannot show you at this point what it looks like from the student side on Google Classroom.
Well, if you've selected the topic on this and it's already the topic, it should probably just auto-populate itself to the topic on Google Classroom, right?
Right, I can show you on the teacher side what it will look like.
Yeah.
And then I can show you, like once the kids click on it, what the assignment, actually, I think I can just show you what it will look like when they click on it anyway. So here we go. Sample class. It's under classwork. And here it is.
Okay.
And if I click on it, so the kids, they're going to open it. It's going to look something like this when they open it. And then they just click here.
Okay.
So when the kids open it, they're going to see this. And this is what it's going to look like for them.
Here are examples of complementary angles. Now this one here is they are adjacent. You'll see that they are together. They're connected. And if you add 30 plus 60, you'll see that they add up to be 90 degrees.
So now the question pops up for the kids. And as you can see, they have the option to rewatch if they missed it.
Oh, cool.
So Adrian, is it the same thing if she does that? Because did she do that in the voiceover? Like, are these just Google Slides and she did it in the voiceover? Or did she do the speaking as a screencastify?
I feel like this particular video was probably made by somebody else in like a screencastify type format. And then uploaded onto Edpuzzle and is now available for everybody to see / use.
Can you make an Edpuzzle with just slides and a voiceover, or do you need a video to start?
So it looks like she no, you have to use like Screencastify to record yourself going through the slides.
Okay, so what's the benefit of using the voiceover feature on Edpuzzle versus just voice? If you have, Meaning like if you can't just upload Google Slides and then add the voice through Edpuzzle, you have to, right? Like what's the benefit of using the voiceover on Edpuzzle?
So I didn't really mention the voiceover piece because voiceover has sort of, before, like at the very beginning when Edpuzzle first came out, you were allowed to use voiceover on like educational videos. So say Khan Academy came up with a video and they showed it, and then you said, actually, I don't like how Khan Academy said that. You could use the voiceover feature to speak over the Khan Academy video. But now they're not allowing you to do that.
Okay.
So there's really no point to, like, I don't really find the voiceover feature to be particularly useful in Edpuzzle anymore, because most of the videos, especially if they're videos coming from YouTube, they won't allow you to add voiceover to them.
It would have been useful if I could have just uploaded my slides and then done the voiceover through Edpuzzle.
Right. But I mean, yeah, that would have been useful, but I think that, you know, doing it through Screencastify is probably just as simple. You're going to project your slideshow, speak as if you were doing, you know, the Edpuzzle anyway. Then you save it and upload it onto Edpuzzle and you just add the questions.
This is particularly great for sub plans. Like if I have a personal day and I know I'm going to be out. Yes. And good for like to review homework or if a kid was absent.
Right. I mean, it's like, definitely good for sub plans. You know, you have a 20-minute video that the kids have to watch and then answer the questions. Then they can go back. They can rewatch portions of it. I mean, that's, you know, that's like a whole lesson right there. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to answer a few of the questions so that you can see what it looks like when I go to grade it.
I'm here. I'm just going to walk with my laptop and get a fork.
Okay. So, oh, and now it says that I answered it correctly too. So it will tell the kids whether they got it right or not.
Over here, on the left, they are still complementary angles. 40 plus 50 adds up to be 90 degrees, but they are just not adjacent. Here are examples of supplementary angles. As you notice here, you have adjacent and supplementary angles. 120 and 60 add up to be 180. You'll see the straight line. Whenever you see a straight line, you think supplementary. Same thing over here. If you connected them, it would make a straight line. 40 degrees plus 140 degrees is 180 degrees.
So now I have my next question.
Here are examples of vertical angles.
So we are gonna, if you want to see it submitted, then we would have to watch the whole thing. And because I prevented skipping, we can't actually skip ahead. But I can try to show you. I think if I go to gradebook now, it will just show the progress that the student has made. So here I am as a teacher. I go to sample class. Yeah, nothing to see here because nothing has been officially submitted yet. But why don't I let it run so that we can see what it looks like once they've submitted it so that you know how to grade it and access it. All right, so we'll just go through it. 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, shouldn't be that bad.
We need a review on angles.
Degrees plus 140 degrees is 180 degrees.
All right.
Here are examples of vertical angles. These are considered intersecting lines, and the vertical angles are the angles that are opposite from each other. So here, this one is 30 degrees, and right across, right opposite from it, is another 30-degree angles. They are congruent. Same thing with the 150-degree angles. Vertical angles are congruent.
And I'll just get this wrong just for the heck of it. So now it tells them the right answer, and then they just continue on.
We have already spoke about adjacent angles. You'll see both of these are connected. This is the vertice that they share, and you'll notice that this blue line is the side they share. Over here, this green line is the side that both angles share. Example number 1. We're going to find the missing angle. Well, if you notice here, you will see that this forms a 90-degree angle. So these are complementary angles, and complementary angles add up to be 90 degrees. So we need to find out, if we were to find out 25 plus x, that would be 90 degrees. So we have to figure out what x would be. And to do that, you could take the 90 degrees and take away that 25-degree angle, and it'll leave you with your x.
Again, I'll get it wrong just so that we can, oh, I got it right.
So when you subtract, you'll notice that x is equal to 65. If you were to add 65, which is your x, plus 25, that does give you 90 degrees.
Okay.
Example number 2. We want to find the missing angle here. You have this straight line, so you know that these are supplementary angles. And supplementary angles add up to be 180 degrees. So we're going to do this problem just like we did example number 1.
Okay, so I'll just...
If you have 180 degrees here and you take away this angle here, which is the 37, you'll get your x. And that would leave you with x is equal to 143. If we wanted to check our work, we could say 143 plus 37 does give me 180 degrees. So I am correct. Example number 3. We're going to find the missing angle. If you look, we are given 48, and x is opposite from this, so that we know that these are vertical angles. And we also know that vertical angles are congruent. So if this angle is 48 degrees, and if they are congruent, which means they are equal, x will also have to be 48 degrees.
Okay, so now I'm going to click continue. And then at the end, if I have all multiple choice or any multiple choice, it's going to show me what my like percentage correct is and how many I've gotten right. It's not going to include any open-ended questions because those are going to have to be graded by you. So now if I go, you know, I'll be me, and I'm going to click grade book. It should have populated here, but it might not have because the what did I do? If I go to my classes and I go to sample class and I click on the assignment, it is going to show, oh, it's because I completed it as the teacher and not the temp. But it is going to show here the teacher that they've completed it, the grade that they got, when they watched it, when they turned it in. So all of your students, you would get this information for all of your students as well. So if I click on this, as you can see, I can either reset my progress or delete the attempt. If I had a student, well, so I could, if I had a student complete it, then it would be in grade book. But because I don't, I can also access their information and like which questions they got wrong and see all of that just by clicking on their name. So I'll click on me. you can see which questions I got right and which questions I got wrong. I could alter that if I wanted to. So if I said, oh, actually everybody got that wrong, that was a trick question, and I want to, you know, change it to give them, you know, 100, like if the kid, for example, if for the student, if they got it wrong and you said, oh, I want to give them half credit for that, you could, you know, change that to half credit if you wanted to. So you still have the ability to manipulate the grading, even though the computer has done it, and you still have the ability to comment on student answers as well. And then if any of these questions were open-ended, you would just fill out how many points they received for that particular question. Okay. And as you can see, you can sort of go back and forth between students up here, between previous students and your next student. So temp, you know, I wasn't able to log in as the temp student, so he didn't do it yet. But if he did, his answers would be here. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? So now the last thing that I wanted to show you was, oh, there was one more thing that I wanted to show you when we were looking at videos. So for example, I'm just gonna select this video. When I go to edit, Brittany had mentioned like, oh, there's this voiceover tab. For a lot of the videos, this voiceover is no longer available to you. Before you were able to modify and like speak over the voice on a bunch of YouTube videos. But since they created this, YouTube sort of caught on and doesn't allow that anymore. So you could create voiceover. Like for example, I clicked on it and you can see it says, sorry, voiceover is now blocked to comply with YouTube's terms of service. Upload your own video to record voiceover. So if you wanted to, if you were uploading like, you know, a screencastify video that you made or something, you could add voiceover to that. But why would you do that since you made the video yourself? Unless you were borrowing like a colleague's video and you wanted to, you know, speak over them and say things differently. The other thing that you can do, which I didn't mention, is that you can cut the video. So if you didn't want the beginning half of the video, all you have to do is drag this over. You drag this bar and you click add cut.
Got it.
And then it's going to break the video into pieces so that you can, you know,
similar to cutting your own Zoom portion.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. So you can, and you can cut, you don't have to just trim the beginning and the end. You can cut pieces right out of the middle too, if you want, which is kind of nice, especially if you've got like a really long video off YouTube and you're like, actually, I only want them to see 5 minutes of this. You can cut it down. So YouTube hasn't prevented you from cutting their videos. The last thing that I did want to show you was how you can upload your own. So as I mentioned before, and as Brittany had mentioned, I had created my own screencastify video. So actually you can see it over here. If I click under my content, you're going to see all the videos that I've watched. Now we're using a free account. So you can only save, I believe it's 20 videos to your My Content before you have to start getting rid of them. So when you delete the video, you'll see that this note will come up. Any student grades in progress that you have will still be saved. So say you gave the students an assignment, and then you're like, oh, now I ran out of space. I need to start deleting some of these videos. You can delete them. It's not gonna affect their grade. You just won't be able to keep access to it. You'd have to delete something else in order to get the video back if you wanted to reassign it again later. So I'll just click delete content. And now it's gone off my, out of my content. But as I mentioned before, I had created my own Screencastify video. So this is one that I've created. And then I uploaded it to Edpuzzle and added questions in. So I'll just play you the first like few moments of it. I can do this because I'm not a student watching the video. I'm just checking it out and editing it. But if this were a student, they wouldn't be able to move forward.
A little bit more information about how Indigenous candidates have won re-election. Now, before I start to read, I did notice that there was a word in here, Indigenous, and it seems to be pretty important since it's in the headings, but I don't actually know what it means. So maybe I'm going to go back to the title and reread it to get an idea of what this article is about again and see if maybe I can make an educated guess about what the word Indigenous means. I know that it's describing women because it comes before it. So Indigenous women. So I'm wondering if the title is going to give me any hint as to what the word Indigenous might mean. Why don't you take a moment to see if you can figure it out too?
And then the question pops up. So basically, if you're recording your own videos, you could embed the questions directly into your video like I did. So I asked the kids, what do you think the word Indigenous means? And then this multiple choice question pops up that says the same thing. What do you think the word Indigenous means?
All right, I have a question.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
If I was using someone else's video, but I wanted to ask the question verbally as well, could I do that? Or is that the voiceover feature that's blocked for most YouTube?
That's the voiceover feature. But like I said, if you're using, say you were using, for example, like a non-YouTube video. So say you got a Screencastify from a friend.
Okay.
Or colleague, and you could add voiceover to that, that's okay. You just can't add voiceover to any videos that you're pulling from YouTube.
Got it.
Yeah. Now to add my own videos is really easy. So I can do it like this. So basically I'm going to go back to where it says my content. And I just click this add content button. And I can create a new video. Okay, you just click create a new video. And then you can, you could select one from here that's already made, or you could click on YouTube. And then there's like tons of videos from Khan Academy, National Geographic, TED Talks that are already here. And then you just choose the video you want and add questions to it, okay? The other option is if you click add content, upload video, and all you do is drag or drop your Screencastify video in here. So if you made a Screencastify video, all of those videos are saved to your Google Drive under Screencastify. And then you can just access them through your Google Drive. So if I click on my Google Drive, there we go. It automatically is showing me only videos from my Google Drive because it can't pull anything else. So I just search for the one that I want and then select it. And there it is. Now it's being added, and then I can add questions to it as I'd like, okay? If you had a particular like YouTube video in mind, the way that I've done it in the past is I believe I've searched under my content. So I'm gonna see if this works still. They've changed it a little bit since I've last used it, like the interface on this part. So I'm just gonna go over here. I'm gonna click on, well, just click on, I'll change my account, I guess. Look at, see if I can find some of the, so I want this Life at Clever video. I'm gonna copy the URL, the top of my screen. And then I'm gonna go back to Edpuzzle and I'm gonna see if I can search it this way. Oh, it doesn't let me do that. So let's see if I click upload a video, not upload, add content. So create a video. It should. Oh. Okay, so that's what I have to do. They made it more complicated than it used to be. So basically, if you find a video that you wanted to show on YouTube specifically, you're gonna click on the video. You're gonna copy the URL. You're gonna go back to Edpuzzle, click on My Content. You click the blue button that says Add Content.
It's amazing what a fresh perspective can teach us. Like
where it says Add Content, click Create a Video. And then up here where it says Search Content, you're just gonna paste the URL. And here's the video. And now it takes you automatically to your editing options, where you can cut it, you can add questions, etc. So the way that I've added questions is I've just played the video and then I've paused it when I want to ask a question, and then I go over to questions, and then I just click add. Okay. And then when I'm done, I just click finish and it will save it automatically. Now there is one thing that I didn't address for you, Britt, about how to get the link into Canvas. I think you could just click.
Adrian, I keep getting texts from my son to pick him up. So
we're all done here. If you need to leave, that's totally fine. I was just trying to figure this out for Brittany.
I so appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm going to totally use this. This is really great for my ELLs, especially.
Oh yeah, they'll love it.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Take care. Britt, I'm trying to figure out how I can assign this via, what do you call it?
Can't you just copy the link?
I thought I could. Wait. All right, I'm gonna finish. And then I'm gonna say, I don't know. I think if I copy the link, it won't. I don't think it'll work well.
Click assign, see what happens.
You might have to add a class. And then
go to open. What does open mean?
For open classes, your students just have to enter a class code to join, no account required. See your students' progress for each video lesson you assign. So yeah, I guess you could just click, you know, you can make a class, make it open, and then send your kids the join code for that. So that it doesn't have to invite them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, otherwise you would have to type in all the names of your kids, like, and add them individually.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see what happens if I go, you know, it looks like I need to select a subject as well. So now this class is open. If I assign this project to this class, I can click share assignment over here. That pops up and is now available for me. So now that's where I copy the link.
Cool.
So I actually have to create a class. And even if the class, I mean, it doesn't have to have any kids in it. It just has to have a name. And then you can copy the link and then input that into Clever.
That's awesome.
The only, I mean, into Canvas. The only thing I'm thinking, and I don't know if this happens with Canvas with other things, is that it's not going to automatically, like, so when you grade these, if you have a class, a Google Classroom linked to Edpuzzle, when you go back into your Google Classroom, the grade for the student is also linked, right? I don't think that's going to happen with Canvas.
That's okay. I don't think it needs to.
No, I mean, the teacher could just add it in separately.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This was so helpful.
You're welcome. I'm glad it was helpful. Let me know if you need anything else.
I will. Thank you so much. We'll talk later.
All right, sounds good. Bye.